Divorce, Legos, and conflict. What do these things have in common? They're all part of something we like to call the understory. The understory is what's beneath the surface of every conflict. That's the most interesting, unexplored part, the real reason behind the fight. I'm Amanda Ripley, a certified conflict mediator and co-founder of Good Conflict. We help leaders like you reimagine conflict through our courses, our free resources, and our trainings. Thank you for coming back to the channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Be sure to do all the things, like, subscribe, hit the bell. You don't want to miss our next lesson. In this video excerpt from our Good Conflict Masterclass, we're diving into the understory. What is it? Why does it matter? And how can you use it to shift the way you approach disagreements? To become a detective instead of a prosecutor or a victim. If you find this helpful, we'd love to have you join us for one of our courses. The link will be in the description. Okay, let's get started. Years ago, a couple going through a messy divorce in California went to war over a set of Legos. The husband wanted the Legos. The wife wanted the Legos. They could have bought all those Legos 100 times over with what they were paying their attorneys to fight it out. But it didn't matter because it wasn't about the Legos. So what was it about? Well, that's what we like to call the understory. The thing the conflict is really about, underneath all the claims and counterclaims. This is the most important, most useful part of any conflict. And if we can figure this out, we can cut through the noise and understand what we really need to fight about and what we can let go of. Kyle Dietrich, a peace builder who focuses on de-radicalization, says that conflict is a window into something underneath, like an iceberg. That means that you need to dive below the waterline in order to get anything useful out of the conflict. And if you don't, if you stay above the surface, you're destined to keep having nonsense fights over Legos or who said what to whom or who left the dishes in the sink over and over and over. Can you relate to this? It's so easy to get stuck on the Legos or the dishes or whatever it is, but it's not inevitable. To avoid this trap, we're going to learn how to quickly investigate the understory of any conflict. We'll practice techniques that you can use immediately to get clear about what you're really fighting about, so you can have the right fight. Now, what about the case of the disputed Legos? What was the understory there? Well, this couple had one child, and the Legos were the child's most precious toys. Where the Legos went, so went the child's affection, or so it seemed to the parents. The Legos represented their deep care and concern for their child and the future, which felt perilous and uncertain at the time. That was the understory for these parents, if only someone had asked. Now, what do you think the understory of your conflict is? What is it for other people in this conflict? You may be thinking, I have no idea. They're not behaving rationally. Who can understand them? If that's the case, we have good news for you. Usually the understory is one of just a handful of things. They're very predictable, and they come up again and again in all kinds of conflict. So it's not as hard as it seems to figure out what's really at play. Meet us in the next lesson to find out the 4 most common understories, one or more of which is almost certainly driving any difficult conflict. Those 4 most common understories, they're power and control, closeness and care, respect and recognition, and stress and overwhelm. And they show up in conflicts of every scale. But it is super helpful to be able to recognize them when they do. We hope you found this video helpful. If you're interested in learning the fastest way to identify the understory of a conflict, consider checking out our intro course, Investigate the Understory. The link will be in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.